Should you tell your partner about fantasies that don't include them?
Ooh,
What do you think?
that's a good one.
I know.
I think if it includes another person
No?
specifically, probably not, because it's really going to be painful, typically, for somebody else to hear that you're fantasizing having sex with another person. You know, it's almost like an emotional affair or something, or a wished for emotional affair. So probably not, but you can still tell them the fantasy without really detailing who it's with.
Sure.
What do you think, sweetie?
Yeah, I think there parts of the imagination are really private.
Yeah. You know, I think the important thing about sharing fantasies with somebody, with your partner, is that they know what turns you on sexually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily the identity of somebody. It's really what you're doing with them and how they make you feel in the dream and, you know, blah, 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 or the fantasy. But what they're actually doing that is erotic.
What if somebody calls out somebody else's name during sex?
Oh, God, that would be really painful for the other person. That's really painful
Right.
for the
Instead
other
of saying
person.
Christ, they say crystal. I don't know.
Yeah, right. You know, I mean, that would be, you've got to talk about it. You've got to talk about it afterwards. Why did you call out that name? Da, 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 da. And I think it's really important to think yourself about why you called out the name of that person. What's going on with you that you called out that name instead of being present with your partner here and now in the moment? What's going on there? And so you really need to think about that and question yourself about how come that person is on the top of your mind. And it could be something as simple as, I don't know, you saw somebody who looked like them on the street or on TV or something. And so, I don't know, you were thinking about them, but, there's really no good answer for that except to just talk it through and ask your partner how it made your partner feel, and give your partner as much reassurance as you honestly and sincerely can that calling out a name could have been something almost habitual, like, an old habit that came up again.
I think all these questions come down to the discussion that the Jewish sages had about Noah and his character. So Noah in the Bible says Noah was a good man for his time. So what does that mean? Well, his time, people were so bad that God sent the flood and destroyed everybody except Noah and his family. So what the sages decided was that Noah's internal fantasy world was just as evil as everybody around him, except that he behaved in a just manner. So in a way, the discussion tended to what happens if somebody's internal world is really nasty and evil and cruel and
Don't tell me.
psychopathic.
Don't tell me, okay?
And but that person behaves in a completely morally just way. And the decision was that that person is even more praiseworthy than somebody whose internal world is completely just and, like Isaac was really rumored to be just a good person all the way through. Here's a person who really internally is not so perfect morally, but externally, behaviorally is very moral. That person's even more, notable for their excellence because they have to fight with these internal demons. And, So the Jewish sages really say, what's internal is your business. What matters is what you're like
Your
toward your
actions.
partner. And if you treat your partner with love and respect and kindness and generosity, that's what matters. Your internal fantasy world, that's your business. And you don't have to share it with anybody on the planet if you don't want to, as long as you behave morally.
Well, a lot of people could use that advice in this world right now. You're nodding.
Yeah, I think so.
Silence and nods.
Yeah, I think Noah was even more praiseworthy because he was, of course, infected by all the evil practices around him, but he didn't do those, and that's remarkable.
Look, I think he was more praiseworthy because he saved the animals.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
And animals are better than people.
They sure are.